stops, you just real common across the country. You know, you've got we're on a main lake here, on a main lake point. You know, there, I mean, I can just feel it. Like, I wasn't just burning it. I can feel it like you just kind of float right in it. And it's vibrating, just kind of move on, then the tip kind of stops. Just snap it.
Is he on there?
Just like
okay. On cue. It was supposed to be bigger than that, but
7 times bigger.
But we'll take the timing on that anytime. There you go. Right there.
That's funny. It was, you could see the tip vibrating, and then as soon as it stops, you just Now,
you know, you're working the chatterbait here, and it's an interesting bait that gives you some options. You know, I mean, you can work it like a almost, you know, in a crankbait, but it is a jig with a blade there.
Yeah, that's, you know, you can wind it just like a crankbait, but the neat thing about it, like you said, it's a jig with a blade, and you stroke a jig a lot, you snap a jig out of cover, and that's where this is real effective. You know, you're crawling it just along the tops, you slow your retrieve down just to where it starts to get stuck once in a while, and then when that starts getting stuck like that, you snap it, and that's when those fish come up and react. And again, it's a way to cover some water, and it's, look what Brett Height's done, it's a way to catch some big fish too. And it is addictingly fun. There's nothing like snapping a chatterbait out of the grass, and when you jerk back, the fish jerks back the other way.
Now let's talk about your tackle matchup for this. We're right between a crankbait and a jig. And what are you doing for the chatterbait?
Yeah, the difference with the chatterbait is you can throw on a little heavier line than you can a crankbait. The crankbait, you've got the resistance when you're pulling against pulling the crankbait through the water, so you got to throw it on a lighter line in order to get it down. That's where the Sunline, you know, just shines above all else, because they just got a lot of their lines. You have the same strength. They've got thinner diameter, and that thinner diameter is huge because that gets that bait down deeper. But again, with the bladed jig, you know, I throw mine on a 20-pound sniper, and you've got great strength, and you've got great casting ability too. You can bomb this thing out there. It's very sensitive. You want to have a good rod as well. You know, one that's got a little tip. Notice I'm not throwing a broomstick. It's got a little soft tip.
Gotcha.
But it's got backbone too, so I can muscle that fish once I hook up. But you got to be able to feel the vibrations in the tip, because that's what, you know, lets you control the depth that you need the chatterbait to be going to.
Okay.
If you're not feeling any of the grass, or if you're not feeling your bait vibrate at all, it means you got way too stiff of a rod. Just that sometimes it's just like a little teeny piece of grass, and that's what you feel. It just feels a little different, and that's what you can snap off and trigger some of those reaction strikes with.
How about length? And is length going to vary with the type of water that you're working?
Yeah, I think so. I'm a big, you know, the 7 foot is just a good all-around rod. You know, I throw mine on a 702. And it's a Powell. Like I said, it's a medium. It's kind of like a medium heavy action. But if you were throwing a chatterbait, skipping it around trees or skipping it under docks, you're going to want to shorten that up to make it easier to cast. Now, if you're just straight open water, that's when I like the 7 foot 2 inch rod.
The longer the better then.
You got a little more control of the fish, and you can add a little length to the cast as well. And over there, I mean, I can just feel it, like the wasn't burning it. I can feel like you just kind of slow the stops. You just real common across the country. You know, you've got we're on a main lake here, on a main lake point.
Supposed to be bigger than that, but
7 times bigger.
But we'll take it. We'll take the timing on that anytime. There you go. Right there.